technology. Hey guys, so we're at the post-meditation discussion for week 5. We have a few people still on Zoom, and I hope other people pop up on Facebook Live. So, let's see, who was here last week? Carrie, Renee, and Kristen. Remember our homework?
There was homework?
There was homework. There's always homework.
Renee's cat ate it.
Oh, again? Renee's on mute. I'm unmuting you, lady. Or she won't let me unmute her. Is that possible?
The new Zoom rule. You can't.
Oh,
Suggest.
so mean. So, yeah, one of the homeworks was to do a new breath work, or something that you're not maybe too comfortable with. So last week we went over alternate nostril breathing. Well, since Renee's not talking to me, she's on Facebook Live suddenly. That's okay. Jordan's internet went out. I'm so sorry about that, Jordan. How about Tanya? What's one of your favorite breath works?
So I like that one where, like those 8 counts, right? Where like it goes into the chest, then into the ribs, and then into the belly. Mm-hmm. And it comes out so easy and just so powerful.
Well, that's actually what it's called. It's simple breath. So that's 3-part Dirga breath. That's great. So that's like the first breath that you really learn is to take those long, right? Yeah, no, but it's awesome. That's why it's a basic breath. But to feel that awareness of this expansion of the ribs, of the chest, and like just to bring that to everybody, because some people really don't breathe that deep. So,
and it's easy to explain to others, so I like it.
Right. I agree with that. And for people that have sinus issues, as I was saying last week. So you should remember this, Kristen. I talked about sinus issues. Okay. That makes them feel less claustrophobic for sure. So that's a good one. So that's 3-part Dirga breath. Kristen, what breath work do you like?
I like the alternate nostril. That I've used that since I was in college.
Yeah.
I've always used that. Even with the sinuses, I still find it. I find sinus problems that I sometimes don't even remember are happening.
Oh, yeah.
But
Sure. It opens everything up. What's happening?
That one relaxes me fast. The other one, I like the sustained counting type things. So 4, 7, 8, 5, 5, 5.
Yeah.
I like those a lot too. Those can get me into a less anxious place really fast.
Really fast, right? And the more that you do something like that,
like
it goes
2
faster.
Sets. I can do like 2 sets and be like in a much better place.
But that's because you've been practicing breath work. So like people that don't normally practice breath work, sometimes it feels like a struggle to it's just like, it's so scary. Like I have to breathe and it's hard. So yeah, because you've been practicing it, like that's why your body's trained to go, okay, I'm okay, I'm safe, I can relax.
I know what that means.
I know what that means. That means I'm safe. Remember, I'm safe, okay? It's all about the root chakra, always. Like, remember, rule number 1, root chakra, first chakra. If your breathing goes stabilized, it says, I'm not in survival mode. I'm good. I'm safe. Oh, Renee says her froze too. I'm sorry, you and Jordan are having issues. It's not my week for issues. It's your week. Jeannie says bee breath. She likes the humming. It helps. I like bee breath too. That's a good one. That's actually really good for psychic work too, because it focuses on the navel cavities into the third eye. So that's a really fun one. You know what my favorite breath work is? Ujjayi breath. It's literally just that. I really feel, I feel a lot of power in it. And oddly enough, I lost my Ujjayi breath after each pregnancy, actually. Like I had a very difficult time when I would practice asana to, like I couldn't get the flow of the breath with the movement, which had come so naturally to me before. And after babies, I had a really hard time getting back to it. So I was upset about it, but then I thought it was a really good lesson, right? Because something that was so natural to me had gone away. But Ujjayi breath, when you can really focus on it, it feels like such a strong intention. Kim's asking Ujjayi breath. So we're going to go over Ujjayi breath now. Ready? So this is what you would hear in a yoga class almost immediately. They'll go, okay, and if you're ready, you can go into Ujjayi breath, which is your ocean sounding breath. It's Darth Vader breath, basically. So it's a constriction in the back. Yeah, that's what it is. It's how you describe it to people. It's a constriction in the back of the throat, really, really slight. So pretend you're fogging up a glass, and you go, and that extension of it is how you get that constriction in the back of the throat. So it's like, It's not just ha, it's and then when you get good at that, you just close the lips. So it's inhale. And it will get longer and longer as you go on. The exhale is always going to be longer than the inhale. Naturally, it's like that. But what I find is that after about 6 rounds of that, you'll get some dryness in the back of your throat. Your sinuses will start to open up, and that's how you know you're doing it right. You're like, oh, I need water. But then the water feeling goes away because everything starts to go back to, oh, wait, I'm safe. It's okay. But you'll definitely get parched at the beginning of it. So Ujjayi breath is pretty loud. A lot of yoga classes are interesting because sometimes if they're not used to it, you have to fight for your class to get it down. You're like, really, don't be shy. You can make sounds. But it's wonderful once you start to practice that. So maybe that's going to be homework number 1 is just to do Ujjayi, ocean sounding breath. And honestly, you don't even need to spell it. You can Google ocean sounding breath and you'll find it. Or if you come into some rendition of it, you'll find Ujjayi breath. But I will type it out for you later. I'm just going to write it down so I don't forget. So, you know, homeworks are not mandatory, but they definitely help. And it sometimes will get you out of that comfort zone, and we know that if you're staying in the comfort zone, you are not growing. So you got to be a little uncomfortable sometimes. So what else was on the homework? Anybody? Renee, why? Oh, you're frozen on one side, and then I see you on the other. That is creepy. Hold on, everybody needs to see this.
It is wild and creepy.
What is happening in this world?
It's kicking me off on my computer for some reason.
Oh, well,
It's freezing and
that was weird.
shut the computer down.
Okay, that's weird.
So you're in almost the exact same spot with a different facial.
Yes. So she's frozen and not frozen. It's weird. It's also weird that I just noticed it, but that's okay.
Really interesting.
Very interesting.
Because I saw you talking to me on Facebook Live. I'm like, I'm not there.
Oh, that's strange. All right, so we have our breath work. What else was homework from last week? Do you remember? Anybody? You guys, come on. Oh, Renee, cheat. Please look it up.
I am looking it up.
Good.
Invite
Okay.
someone, right?
Kristen wrote it up. too.
Yes, Carrie says it. Invite someone that is not necessarily interested.
I did that, but they didn't come.
That's okay, but you
Do
reached out.
something out of your
So,
comfort zone.
right. Right. So invite someone that is not necessarily interested or a meditator. Jeannie's saying reach out to somebody. That was 2 weeks ago, but close enough. So, you know, and that's obviously going to be a continued homework, but I think it's a good thing. So, Kristen, you tried. That's cool. Thanks for trying. And there was
I hosted a watch party too.
I forgot to say that before. Oh, man. Oh, well. Yeah, host a watch party. And wasn't there a third one, too?
Do something out of your comfort zone.
Do something out of your comfort zone. Is that what it was exactly?
I don't know.
Okay.
Something like that.
Renee, do you remember?
Oh, no, yeah, she did something. It was something like that.
I thought it was a little bit
No,
more specific.
did you say let the mind wandering?
That was the week before. I love that you guys remember. But the weeks are blurring together. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Margarita.
Actually.
All right. Well, we'll come back to that. Look it up, Renee. It's on there somewhere.
All right. It's number 1 is do something out of your comfort
It
zone.
is do something out of your comfort zone. All right. I'm
2,
sorry,
try
Carrie.
different breath work.
Okay, we got those. So
3,
something
invite
out
more
of your
people.
comfort zone. It could still be breath work, but
One that was.
it's okay. Did anybody do something out of their comfort zone this week?
Yeah.
I did write it down, Jordan. I'm relying on you guys to participate. He's pushing the blame on me. Go ahead. Comfort zone. Kristen's laughing at that. He was like, question mark, question mark, question mark. Why didn't you write it down? So my comfort zone, what did I do that was out of my comfort zone? I gotta think about this one. I cooked something that I've never cooked before, and I felt really weird doing it because it felt very unnatural. It came out okay. It was all right. Oh, and I sang another song, so I did another vocal track that I didn't know the song at all, and it came out pretty good. So that was
What
good.
was it?
Remember last week I said Blue Bayou that I had never heard of in my life, and now I am a master at Blue Bayou. Got it. I got that. Very out of my comfort zone. Got it. Anyone else? Marguerite's like, what'd you cook? That one was a type of cake, and it was, I don't know, it was a little hard. And then I did a stir fry that was only out of my comfort zone because I couldn't use as many fibrous foods because my husband couldn't have them. It's a long story, but it was like hard to do. Like, how do I make this good without that? I figured it out. It was okay. Nobody else, huh? What about you guys? Facebook. What'd you do out of your comfort zone?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, people over there.
I tried harder music on my handpan.
Yes, you did, Carrie. Carrie tried harder music on her handpan.
Recorded for the first time.
And she recorded it and sent it to me, and it was awesome.
Sick.
Thanks, Margarita. I did try. I think... Oh, I know what else I did. I spoke to a couple of new people that like weren't sure about meditation stuff, so they're my new friends. So that's cool, right? How about you, Tanya? I bet you did some stuff.
No, it's funny. I was just thinking, I did not do anything like out of comfort zone, but like with the feelings, right? I usually hide my feelings, and I'm like, oh, I'll do this and I'll do that for everybody. And today I was just like, I'm not doing it. Like they were like, I was like, you cook and you do it. And
You know what? You know what? I'm done.
It was so scary to do, but I just did it. And all of a sudden, everybody was so nice, and it was so weird. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, I think they heard your message.
Yeah, it was actually so good. Like
That's good.
Just to be like, it felt like being true to yourself in a way, even though it was mean, but it was truthful at the same time.
Well, so
kind of new.
So, you know, it's funny because sometimes when you do something out of your comfort zone, that's also stressful, right? So even though it's a good stress, it's stressful. So at the beginning we were talking...
I started blushing talking about it. Like,
That's awesome.
It was stressful.
All right, so let me just go off on a tangent about that for a second, because we were talking about at the beginning, you know, that buildup of pressure in the wave, right? So even though it's a good stress, it's still a buildup. And because it's something out of your comfort zone, it's a higher buildup than a normal stressor would be. Does that make sense? Because you're exercising your throat chakra. So for you, you're used to like maintaining it and like regulating it backwards. And instead it just like exploded. So the good news is that
this is so great. Please, can you repeat? It's like so important.
it's very, very important. When you do something out of your comfort zone, it raises that stress level. So even though it's good, it's okay. It's gonna break through a lot harder. So that's the type of person that maybe like kind of what you said, and I'll say it a little differently than that, but doesn't stick up for themselves, or just holds everything back, and then suddenly they're like, bam! You know, I'm not saying that's how you were, but that's generally what will happen to some people because they're always like worried about, you know, I can't not be, you know, on this plateau area. I gotta stay here, and it just builds up. The good news is that
that's exactly what happened.
yeah. The good news is that once you get used to vocalizing, and not just sticking up for yourself, but basically saying your needs, Jeannie's laughing. Once you do that, and those boundaries start to be present, you know, people start to become aware, like, oh, Tanya doesn't like, mommy doesn't like when I do this, or whatever. Okay, well, you know what, maybe I'll tailor what I can do. So, right. So like you start to actually have a different form of communication. So it's not so volatile or it's not so loud or whatever, but it takes practice, just like anything else. But you already broke through that chakra thing going on. And now you know, like, oh, that felt good.
I think you told me about my fifth chakra before. So
Oh, yeah?
It's so funny. Yeah, like
So-
years ago. So it's so funny talking about it again.
Well, so when you go through something that is more of like a chronic, you know, everybody tends to have chakra areas, and remember those are energy vortex areas in your body that are more better practiced. Like we kind of all have our specialties. Like I'm easily more in my creative zone. I'm easily more here, blah, blah, blah. So those are easier places to be. When I tackle something that I'm not used to, like it's out of my comfort zone, right? the reward will actually be bigger when I focus on it. So that's the great news, right? Kristen, how many times did I make you wear a certain color? You know?
Oh my God.
And she's like, I hate that color. I'm like, I know.
I swear to God, he actually called me up one day and says you have to wear yellow. I said, I hate yellow.
Yeah.
You gotta wear it.
Oh,
I don't own anything in yellow.
There's a reason you don't own anything in yellow, because you hate it because it's a block. So,
I have to go buy pajamas in yellow.
yes.
Do you know how hard that is in the middle of like December?
I think it was the middle of December, I'm sure.
I really have to tell you, there's nothing worse than trying to find
Yes.
yellow pajamas in December. And I can't just get any old pair of pajamas
No.
because I at the time had a very, very bad skin problem and I couldn't just wear any material, so I had to be specific materials. So yellow pajamas that were in like bamboo. Good luck, by the way.
And you found it, and didn't you buy like multiple pairs or something, or two, or I thought you.
bought one because that's all I could find.
Oh, I thought you
ended up
bought
getting
another.
them in other colors.
Yeah.
that I
Okay.
didn't have.
See, I do remember.
Just in case she asked me to wear those colors too.
Just in case.
I was preempting for green and pink. And
So
blue.
when you start to think of the world like that, and you start to realize like how connected those chakras are to how they affect your whole outside. Hey, Christy. You know, it's kind of mind-opening and funny, you know, funny to realize, like, I hate yellow. Oh, that's why I have nothing yellow. Oh, because that chakra is really blocked. I don't live well in that chakra. I don't stay present in that chakra. And that's pretty great when you start to realize, like, you know what, I can actually have some control. I can really work on those areas that I'm having some difficulty with. So, you know, that leads us to our second homework. So the first homework was Ujjayi breath, or ocean sounding breath. And the second homework is to, hey, Jordan, you're back, is to look up the chakras. I probably gave this at the beginning of our time together 4 weeks ago. Look up the chakras. You do not have to memorize anything. All you have to do is just look them up and start to gain some knowledge on like what their qualities are, what emotions they regulate. You'll start to see a lot of medical things as well, what organs they're connected to. There's so many qualities to it. So the charts are pretty much the same. Some of them will have more details, like what words to say with each chakra to help it open. I just want you to become aware of it. So that's your second homework, is to look up the chakras. And the third homework is, still pertaining to the chakras, is to start to think about which ones you're not really present with. Which ones you may struggle with. Kristen's rolling her eyes and going, I know already. So,
I'm giving you a different hand gesture.
oh, thank you. I love you too. But the reason this is so important is because it's going to show you where, like I said, each one of us is better or lives better in a few chakras, or maybe even one specifically. You'll also notice that at this time, like even though like Kristen's very aware of all this stuff, you know, she's a good client of mine, a good friend, she knows, like, I'll tell her specifically what to work on. So she has the experience of, oh, this is what I do when this is happening. This is what I do. This. So she knows. But during this time with the pandemic and everything, you might be having other issues where suddenly, you know, your neck is hurting, your shoulder's hurting, you're having stomach aches, you're having anxiety you didn't have before. All those things, those are also energetically ruled. So it's not just like, all right, external forces stay here. No. It's internal forces come out. So that's your third thing, to just see where you're at. Let's see if I can give you one more. So your fourth homework, this is almost like a fourth homework, is to, and I don't feel like I even have to say this to you guys, but I just want you to be aware of it. Just to brighten someone's day this week. It doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be monetary. It doesn't have to be anything like that. You don't have to brag about it, but you can share with us next week if you choose to. I just want you to see how you can be, you know, a light for somebody else. You know, kindness, we always know, goes a long, long way. And I like to say kind is K-I-N-D, right? It has I in there. It has in, like I'm in. I'm in for it. Kind. I can do that. And it makes you think about how, you know, making somebody else's day better is going to affect you as well. Okay? So those are your 4 homeworks. And anybody else want to share anything before we depart? Wow.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Vanessa. What a beautiful, you know, sessions you make. And
Aww.
I'm so grateful to be part of it today.
I love
You're
it.
just so bright, and your laughter is just so beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. What is going on? Okay. Kristen's writing everything down. All right, I see the homework. Very good. I'm going to post it on Facebook, so if you don't, all right, don't worry about it. It's always posted on Facebook. So we're just going to close with special intentions for anybody else. Christy, I don't want to, you know, publicize what you're going through, but I just want to send special stuff for you too. If you give me the okay, then I'll share. Anyway, so one more time. Palms together. I always say palms in front of the heart. Chin bows down to the heart. Becoming aware of that breath again. And then we send all this love to each other. So as I say in circle, first we say namaste, and then we say, instead of jai, we say chai latte. Just for some humor. Okay, so I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Please share with others, and don't just remind them as well that they can catch my videos on Vanessa M. Meyer LLC on Facebook. And maybe eventually it will be on YouTube. I'm still a little shy. So, it's all good. All right, thanks guys. Jai.